Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So welcome everyone. So today we are going to be discussing a bit from the Gita, but mostly on the most important festival that is going to be coming up in our Iskcon tradition. And what is that festival? Radhashtami. Yes. It's a very, very important, extremely important festival for all of us. In fact, it is even more special than Shri Krishna Janmashtami. Okay? And we will see why. We will see why it is such a great festival for all of us. So, I want to start with going over 2 shloks from the Gita. This is one shlok that we've been doing quite a bit in the last 2-3 Saturdays. We've been covering this one shlok, 9.13. So I'll briefly go through that, and then we'll discuss more about 9.14. Okay? So 9.13. Mahatmanastu mam patha devim prakritim ashrita bhajanti ananya manaso natva bhutadim avyayam. Okay, Mahatmana, the great souls. Two, but Mam, unto me. Partha, O son of Pritha. Devim, divine. Prakritim, nature. Ashritaha, having taken shelter of. Bhajanti, render service. Ananya Manasa, without deviation of the mind. Natva, knowing. Bhuta, of creation. Adim, the origin. Avyayam, inexhaustible. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Now, 9.14. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavritah namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Satatam, always. Kirtayantaha, chanting. Mam, about me. Yatanta, fully endeavoring. Cha, also. Dhrita vritaha, with determination. Namasyantaha, offering obeisances. Cha, and. Mam, me. Bhaktya, in devotion. Nitya yuktaha, perpetually engaged. Upasate, okay, translation. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination. Bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So now I'll just read the purport as well for 14. The Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. His symptoms are described here. A Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He is always engaged in glorification of the Lord. In other words, he is not an impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising His holy name, His eternal form, His transcendental qualities, and His uncommon pastimes. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is attached to the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord, the Brahma Jyoti, is not described as Mahatma in the Bhagavad Gita. He is described in a different way in the next verse. The Mahatma is always engaged in different activities of devotional service, as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing and chanting about Vishnu, not a demigod or human being. That is devotion. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu and Smaranam. Remembering Him. Such a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve that as the ultimate end of association of the Supreme Lord in any one of the 5 transcendental rasas. To achieve that success, he engages all activities, mental, bodily and vocal, everything, in the service of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. That is called full Krishna consciousness. In devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days, like the 11th day of the moon, Ekadashi, and on the appearance day of the Lord. All these rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission into the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the transcendental world. The Mahatmas, great souls, strictly observe all these rules and regulations, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired result. As described in the second verse of this chapter, not only is this devotional service easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. One does not need to undergo any severe penance and austerity. He can live this life in devotional service, guided by an expert spiritual master, and in any position, either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari, in any position and anywhere in the world, he can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually Mahatma, a great soul. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so these two verses are the most important verses in the entire Bhagavad Gita. How many verses are there in the Gita? 700. What is the middle of 700? What's divided by 2? 350. So you cannot actually divide it into, so between 349 and 350, these two verses are actually the middle. Yeah, because 700 is an even number. Yeah, so you divide it into 2, you get two numbers in the middle. Okay, these are the two numbers, the two main important verses in the entire Bhagavad Gita, and it's actually in the middle of it, right in the middle of it. Just like the essence of the Gita, broadly how many types of yoga systems are there in the Gita? 3. Which are the 3? Okay, so Karma Yoga is in which section? In chapters 1 to 6. Jnana Yoga?
13 to 18.
13 to 18. And in the middle one?
Bhakti Yoga.
Why? Why is Bhakti Yoga in the middle?
Because it's like a jewel box.
Yeah.
You're supposed to protect like
Yeah.
Like a burger.
Like a burger.
Patty, the bun, they're not
but
important.
it's the most
The juice is
confidential.
inside.
Yes.
It's the most confidential.
Exactly. Like even like a pearl. A pearl is located where? Inside an oyster. Oyster is got like this, and the most important part is inside. Now, inside the 6 chapters, which are the 2 chapters in between the 6 chapters? 9 and 10. And within 9 and 10, these 2 are the most important. Okay? They directly reveal that personality that we are going to celebrate in how many days time? 3 days time. Yeah? In 3 days time. So, what does it say here? Mahatmanas tumam parta devim prakritim ashrita. Krishna is saying here that those who are Mahatmas, those who are the really great souls, under whose protection are there? This is Devim Prakritim Ashritaha. Now who is this Devim Prakriti? Who is it? That is Srimati Radharani. All the great souls are under the protection of Radharani. And it's very important we understand this. I'll just go a bit of philosophical detail so that you understand why this is so important. So, in one of the Upanishads, it's called, I think, Chandogya Upanishad. There is this one verse that goes like this, that in the beginning there was only one, the ultimate Brahman. Then it thought to itself, let me become many. Let me become many. So what does this mean? That in the beginning there was only Krishna. There was only the energetic. But he thought to himself that let me become many. So let me expand myself into many parts. But for what reason? For what reason was it created? Why were we created in the first place?
Give Krishna love and devotion.
To give Krishna love and devotion. And so, who is the lead example? Who is a perfect umbrella, or the perfect person who embodies his love and devotion? Prahlad.
Radharani.
Srimati Radharani. She is the one who shows the complete fulfillment of love and devotion to Krishna. Yes? And we are parts of that spark. So we are ultimately always supposed to be under the protection of Srimati Radharani. Because she is the one who has perfected love and devotion to Krishna. And we were also created for this purpose. We were created for no other purpose other than to give Krishna pleasure. That is our constitutional position. How many times have we said this in our classes? Yeah, that our constitutional position is to become a servant of the servant of who? Of Krishna. Yes? Yes? Our constitutional position is to become the servant of Krishna. But we cannot become the servant of Krishna just like that. We have to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. And who is the topmost servant? It's Radharani. So actually our entire Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage is not at all about glorifying Krishna. It's all about glorifying Srimati Radharani. Because we are striving to become her devotees. If we become her devotees, Krishna will be pleased. Because Krishna's own life is Radharani. Radharani is his life heir. His heart belongs to Radharani. So if Radharani is pleased, then Krishna is automatically pleased. Right? So if you look at our Gaudiya, why is it called Gaudiya first of all? Does anyone know why it's called Gaudiya? Gaudiya Vaishnava?
Because like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga.
Yes, that's one reason. Another reason?
Isn't gold like golden skin color?
Yes.
Which represents Radharani.
Exactly, yes. So Gaudiya comes from the word Gauri. Who is Gauri? Who is the one with the golden skin? That is Srimati Radharani. So we are all followers of Srimati Radharani. And if you look at all our Vaishnava Acharyas in this line of Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage, they are all devotees of Srimati Radharani. Okay? Now I'll give you some examples of how this is the case. So there was one time that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was in Vrindavan. Okay? And at that time, the king of Jaipur had come to Vrindavan and he was doing Dandavat Parikrama. So Parikrama means to go around on foot. What is Dandavat Parikrama? Means you are doing Dandavats. At every step you are doing a Dandavat. Then take a stone, put it in front, and then you get up, and then again from that point you do another Dandavat. Like that he did a complete Parikrama of Vrindavan, Dandavat Parikrama. And so one of the disciples of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, look how wonderful this devotee, this king is as a devotee of Krishna. And you know what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said? Okay, yes, but there is something different. Yeah, he is glorifying Radharani because it pleases Krishna. But we are glorifying Radharani. And then by byproduct we are making Krishna happy. So in one side he is trying to please Krishna, and at the side make Radharani happy. But here we are trying to make Radharani happy, and by product is we keep Krishna happy. So there is a small difference in the two. Then if we go a bit further down, then we have one of our six main Goswamis. There is Sanatan Das Goswami. Now Sanatan Das Goswami has written a book called Brihad Bhagavatamrita. How many of you have heard this book? You've heard this book. So in this book, Sanatan Goswami, he writes a story. He writes the story of Narad Muni. Now Narad Muni wanted to find out who is the greatest devotee of the Lord. He wanted to find out who is the greatest devotee of the Lord. So then where does he go? Where does he start his journey? He starts his journey by going to King Indra. And he says, Indra, you are such a great devotee of the Lord. And Indra is thinking, have you not read about Govardhan Leela? Have you not seen what I have done? I caused so much pain to the residents of Vrindavan that Krishna had to come and lift Govardhan to save them. How am I a devotee of the Lord? So the Narad Muni is like, okay, so if you don't consider yourself to be a devotee, who is better than you? He said, you should go to Lord Brahma. Brahmaji is a very great devotee of the Lord. So then Narad Muni goes to Brahmaji, and then he tells Brahmaji, oh Brahmaji, you are the greatest devotee of the Lord. Please tell me your secrets of devotion. You know what Brahmaji says to Narad? No, I am not the greatest devotee of the Lord. Indra is the greatest devotee of the Lord. And now Narad Muni is like, I just came from there and he told me it's you. He says, no, don't you remember Brahma Vimona Leela? I separated Krishna from his coward boyfriends and his calves. How could I be a devotee? I separated them. But Indra is so great. that he got all of them together under Govardhan hill. All the devotees, all the Brajavasis, up prior to Govardhan Leela, Krishna would be woken up, he would be fed by Yashoda Maya, and he was dressed, and then he would go play in the forest with all his coward boyfriends. So while he was away playing, all the gopis, all the coward girls, they were in separation. Oh, Krishna is away. When will he come back? When will it be night time? So that when Krishna comes back from playing, we'll be able to see him. And then the gopas are like, oh, it's night time again. Now we're going to be separated from the association of Krishna. When will it be again? 6 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, so that we can get ready again and go with Krishna back to the forest to play. So always there was a tension that the gopas were always in separation from Krishna at night time, and all the gopis were in separation from Krishna during the daytime. So there was always this separation. And then Brahma was like, but look at how great Indra is, that he lifted the separation of the gopas and he lifted the separation of the gopis in one single pastime by flooding Vrindavan and making Krishna lift up Govardhan hill for 7 days and 7 nights. The gopas and the gopis got 24-hour association of Krishna. Look at how great a devotee is. What have I done? I have actually separated them even further. So now Narad Muni is like, if I go to Indra, he's saying Brahmaji is greater. If I go to Brahmaji, he's saying Indra is greater. So he said, Brahmaji, no, you have to tell me something else. Give me another person who is greater than you. He said, oh, if you want another person who is greater than me, you should go to Lord Shiva. So then Narad Muni goes to Lord Shiva. And then he says, oh Lord Shiva, you are the greatest devotee of the Lord. Please tell me the secrets of devotion. And so Lord Shiva says, I have no devotion. How I cannot even serve Krishna well. Imagine Krishna is giving me such a thankless task. He is sending me down as Adi Shankaracharya to devise a new philosophy of Mayavad to try and push people away from Krishna. What devotee is this? What devotee am I? I am actually pushing people away from the path of Krishna. How can I be a devotee? And he says that I am also known as Muktinath. I am giving mukti to every people. But look at the devotees. They don't want any mukti. Na janam na sundarim, na dhanam na sundarim, na kavitam va jagat isham mama janmani janmanishare. Give me birth after birth. The devotees don't want liberation, and I am here trying to give liberation. I am trying to give things to devotees that they don't want. They don't want that. So Lord Shiva is like, I am no devotee. So now Narad Muni is in a fixed. If Lord Shiva doesn't consider himself to be the highest devotee, who is the greatest devotee? And the Lord Shiva says, no, if you want to know who is the topmost devotee or a devotee higher than me, go to Prahlad Maharaj. And so now Narad Muni is like, my own disciple Prahlad Maharaj, he is the highest devotee. So he goes to his own disciple Prahlad Maharaj and he says, oh Prahlad, everyone, Lord Shiva is telling me that you are the greatest devotee. Prahlad Maharaj very humbly says to his Gurudev, oh Gurudev, I am not the highest. Imagine if I was the highest, how is it possible? When Narasimhadev appeared only for me, what service did I even do? I did not do anything. I was just for my protection. The Lord came as Narasimhadev and killed my own father. And I am such a useless person that I did not even offer a place for the Lord to sit. Where did he sit? He sat on the throne of Hiranyakashipu. And I am such a useless servant that I did not even give him a garland. He took out the intestines of Hiranyakashipu and use that as a garland. So what type of service have I done? I am not worth considering to be a devotee. I have not served the Lord. If you want, in fact, the Lord has been serving me. I have not served the Lord. So what type of devotee am I? And so then Prahlad Maharaj said that if you really want to know who is a better devotee or a greatest devotee, go to Hanumanji. Because Hanumanji, even when he was bound up and his tail was set in fire, he utilized that blazing tail to destroy Lanka. He at least used it for the service of the Lord. I have not even done any service to the Lord. So then Naradji goes to Hanumanji. And he goes to Hanumanji and he's like, Hanumanji, you're the greatest devotee of the Lord. And Hanumanji says, if I was the greatest devotee of the Lord, then why did Lord Rama grant me the status of being a Chiranjeevi when all of them went back to Ayodhya? Why did he tell me to stay here? He was so happy with my bhakti that he gave me the benediction to become a Chiranjeevi and separate me from his association. So he was thinking like this, that I have not gotten a chance to associate with the Lord after departure. And I've only been giving service, but I've never taken service. Greater than me are the Pandavas, who the Lord himself has come and is giving service to his own devotees. So now Narad Muni goes to the Pandavas, and the Pandavas he says that you are the greatest devotees of the Lord. And then the Pandavas say that, I think you're mistaken. If anyone hears about our story, people will stop doing devotion. Because imagine, you are devotees of the Lord and look at how many struggles and difficulties we've been put through. If they say that, if they look at us and they say that they become devotees, they will surely stop doing bhakti. That we are such fallen devotees of the Lord, or servants of the Lord. So he says, okay, so who is better than you? And so the Pandavas said that better than us is Maharaj Ugrasen, under whose family Lord Krishna has appeared. So Narad Muni goes to Ugrasen, and Ugrasen says, I am nothing. If you really want to know who is better than me, go meet Uddhavji. Uddhavji is a constant companion of the Lord. He's sleeping, eating, doing everything with the Lord. He's constantly by his side. He's constantly devoted to him. So go to Uddhavji. He is the highest. And so now Narad Muni comes to Uddhavji. And Uddhavji says that I am not the greatest devotee. Who is greater than me? How many of you know the answer? The gopis are much greater than me. I thought I knew devotion to Krishna, but that is until I met the gopis. What is that pastime? Do you know?
I think so. Uddhavji, he was having lots of ego with Krishna. I don't know what was the conversation between them, but then Krishna told him to go to Vrindavan and meet Nanda Baba and Yashoda for something. And then when he went over there, he started to realize that even if he becomes the grass of that land, it would be so much like a pleasure for him.
Yeah. So Uddhavji and Krishna were once playing or were together, and Lord Krishna was acting that, Uddhav, I'm having such a terrible headache. Please give me the dust of your lotus feet. And Uddhavji is like, no, how? I am your servant. I cannot give you the dust of my feet on your forehead. How is this possible? No, there must be another way to solve it. And Krishna is like, no, I just need the dust of your lotus feet. This headache will only go away from this. I imagine Lord Krishna saying this. For him who is the controller of the three worlds, how can there be a headache? He just wanted to show this pastime to tell Uddhav that there are still a class of devotees greater than him. So what did he tell Uddhav ji? So if you cannot give me the dust of your lotus feet, go to Vrindavan. Tell the gopis there that I am having a severe headache, and the only remedy to solving this headache is that I need the dust of their lotus feet. And so Uddhav ji goes from Dwarka all the way to Vrindavan. Like, in what way will I be able to even give this message? And when he gets to Vrindavan and he relays this message to the gopis, and the gopis hear that Krishna is having a severe headache, and then the only way to solve it is to gather the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. All of them are ready to scrape. They were scraping the legs of all the dust that they can gather and keeping it in a bag so that they can give to Uddhav ji to put it on Krishna's forehead. And Uddhav ji was stunned. Like, how can you do this? Don't you know who Krishna is? He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the Lord of all the three worlds. How can you even dare to put your own lotus dust on his head? And then the gopis replied that we don't care about all of that. We only care about serving the Lord. And if he wants to be served in this way, we are ready to serve it in this way. Whether we go to hell or not, we don't care. The only thing that we care about is Lord Krishna's happiness and his desires. And at that point, Uddhav ji understood that he was a scholar, and he wasn't learned in the great institutions of this world like Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard. No. He was schooled in the heavenly planets. He was the disciple of Brihaspati. He was so well versed in all the Vedic knowledge. He was considered the topmost scholar. And he was thinking that I know everything, but apparently not. He fell at the feet of the gopis and he says that I wish I could just be like the grass and the leaves and the plants of Vrindavan so that I can continuously get the lotus feet of the gopis on myself. And so at the end, finally it is established that the gopis are the topmost devotees of the Lord. And within the gopis, it is the Ashtashakis. And within the Ashtashakis, there is one who is the highest of them all. And who is she? Srimati Radharani. And so in this way, in this story, Sanatan Goswami, he basically comes finally to the final source of who is the perfected person in this entire creation and beyond. And that is Srimati Radharani. And she is the pleasure potency of the Lord. She is even more powerful than the Lord because she conquers the unconquerable Lord with her love and devotion. And so it is so important to know this, that we are all known as Gaudiya Vaishnava. So we are all in the lineage or under the protection of Srimati Radharani. If she is pleased with us, automatically Krishna will be pleased with us. He has no option but to accept us. Even Rupa Goswami, he writes very nice prayer. He says that, O Gandharvika, Gandharvika is the name of Radharani. He says that, please just, I have one request of you, that when you're counting the members in your team, please count me as one of those members. That is Rupa Goswami's prayer. He glorifies Radharani, and he only has one prayer, that please, when you're counting the members of your team, Like when you're a cricket team and you're playing cricket or football, you make two team captains, and then one team captain says, "Oh, you're in my team, you're in my team, you're in my team, you're in my team." Like that, there's two captains there, Radharani and Krishna. And Rupa Goswami says, Radharani, when you're counting the members in your team, please make sure that this lowly fool is one in your team. And so this is the mood of all our acharyas, that they are all devotees of Srimati Radharani. Even Srila Prabhupada himself, when he was growing up and his father was always inviting saints at his house, his father only had one request or one blessing that he sought from all the saints that used to visit to their house. And what was that? To bless Prabhupada ji to become a devotee of who? Srimati Radharani. Because if you are a devotee of Srimati Radharani, you are going to be protected by that Devi Prakriti, by Srimati Radharani. And that is in the spiritual world. But in the material world, who is doing the job? Who is that expansion of Srimati Radharani who is doing the job in this world? Yes, Ma Durga. Ma Durga is trying to reform us because we have forgotten what is our constitutional position. We have forgotten that we are actually servants of Radharani. So Ma Durga's only purpose, our only job is to purify us, to keep on purifying us. But we are not willing to listen. We are not willing to listen. In fact, it is said that all the demigods, their only job is to try to make sure that we progress towards this realization that we are actually not meant to be in this world, and we are meant to be in that world, in the spiritual realm, under the protection of Srimati Radharani. Okay? I think we'll end here. Does anyone have any questions? Any commentaries? Any things? Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.